here. I'm going to drink a couple more sips of my coffee and then we're going to talk, okay? So, first things first. Today we are talking about my thoughts on hiring your friends and family, okay? It can be fabulous and it can be disastrous. And there are points in between, of course, of just like, meh. But I have experienced a lot of really dang good and then like really, really, really bad. Now, given that has been years ago at this point, okay, but I'm still gonna let you guys know what factors I believe led up to the really bad parts, and then also what factors led up to the really good parts. Because you guys, at the end of the day, as you're building out your income streams and things like that, people are like, well, I don't really need a team if I'm gonna be building out my income streams because they kind of work on their own. That's true. However, when you're building out your income streams, you're also building out essentially your own personal brand or your own personal business, essentially, right? And you do at some point need to develop a team. So I developed a team around 30K a month is where it was like, I couldn't go further without it. I needed a team at 30K a month. 30 to 50K a month is where I was like, I need somebody in here, or I was going to hit a ceiling where I couldn't do anymore. I needed to bring people in. Okay, so first things first, you guys, if you are second things first things second. Here is, if you're watching on YouTube right now, make sure that you click on the subscribe button and that you also hit the bell so you are the first to know whenever new videos come on. If you are watching this somewhere else other than YouTube right now, make sure that you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It's just my first and last name, you guys. Let me get rid of that. All right, now let's go ahead and get into it. So the thing is, whenever you start getting successful, which of course my signature program starts on Monday. So if you're not yet making the money that you want to make and have the income streams from home, shoot me an email to hello@marthaekrejci.com with the subject line case study, and we can have a conversation. You can get in by Monday, okay? Go ahead and take that off. That is not how you take it off, by adding another graphic, Martha. That's how we do things here. So whenever you start making more money and needing to build a team out, you guys, the first people that you're going to look to are the people that are closest to you, because you're going to think, okay, they already know me. I can trust them. Trust is so big. And especially when you're starting to grow to the point of $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a month and more, right? Trust is massive. And it's not like, it's to make you feel good. It's to make you not have to worry about things. You need to be able to trust your team, so you don't have to be concerned and worried about things. That is something that could cause paralysis in your growth if you start to question whether you can trust your team, okay? You'll naturally paralyze yourself because that's where your ego comes into play, right? That's where your ego is going to start being like, yikes, don't grow bigger than this because we don't even know if we can trust the people that we have. That happens. I'm going to tell you, that happens. I'll tell you all this stuff that's going to come up for you because I've already been through it all, okay? That stuff happens and you will paralyze yourself in your own growth, in your own financial growth. You will stunt yourself because you're scared someone's going to take from you, okay? If you can't trust somebody on your team. So trust is massive. That said, whenever you bring people on, you try to bring friends and family on because you think that you're going to be able to trust them, okay? Now, let me tell you where I've gone wrong and what I've done when I've gone wrong, because I've had to out people out of my team, like on just one person I had to, well, we won't go into all of that, this has been 4 or 5 years ago, but I had to out people very quickly out of my team, and it was because of trust and lack of trust and all of those things. Okay, so all right, let's see here. So the bad things, you guys. No boundary conversations ahead of time. So whenever I had bad situations, whenever I hired friends and family that did not work out and were very, very bad, I did not have a good boundaries conversation ahead of time. Okay. So I didn't say, okay, this is what I expect of you. I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and I don't need anything else, right? So I need you to do X, Y, and Z. Also, I need you to let me know when you're working on this project, when you're working on this project, the hours that you're working, all of that stuff, right? Because what you'll do when you'll have friends and family start is they'll just do it. They'll just do their thing, and you feel a little bit weird about being their boss, okay? And you're going to feel a little bit weird about giving them instruction. Here's the thing. It will not work out if you don't give them clear boundaries and instruction, okay? I need you to do this. I need you to not do this. I need you to do this. I need you to not do this. Those are boundaries. That is instruction. If you're paying them by the hour, first of all, make sure you have the tax paperwork done ahead of time, all right? Like, get all of that stuff done. Make sure that you're good. If you have a contracts lawyer, which I 100% suggest, you can just get a contracts lawyer on retainer. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and it protects you, and then you've got your lawyer, okay? And business law, if you want to go into that. Yeah. You make sure that you have your paperwork done and that you let them know if they're hourly, here's what I need you to be doing. Here's how I need you to be doing it. Here's how we're going to know how many hours you worked. Like, tell me what you're doing, right? That is so important, okay? That's boundaries. So the people that I did not have good boundaries with, right away they didn't take advantage of me, but eventually they took advantage of me, okay? Eventually they were like, well, I worked this. And I'm like, I don't feel like that was really necessary. I don't think that all of those hours were actually necessary, right? And then you have to make those decisions, and then you have to feel like somebody was lying to you, and there's just a bunch of gross stuff that happens. All of that stuff happens because you didn't put a fence around it, right? Because you didn't set up the boundaries in the very beginning. So what that leaves is question marks, doubt, and distrust, okay? And again, what happens because of distrust? Paralysis in growth happens because of distrust, okay? Also, broken relationships. Right? You end up with weird relationships too. Or no relationships, quite frankly. No oversight. So again, just letting them do what they're going to do. In some of my no oversight situations, like I said years ago, there were clients that were, my team was reaching out to, friends and family were reaching out to my clients, and they were supposed to be checking in on them and stuff. But they were reaching out, and then all of a sudden they weren't reaching out to them anymore. And I didn't even know because I didn't do any oversight, right? I just trusted that they were going to do it. All of a sudden, my clients were no longer getting emails or check-ins or, hey, how are things? How's everything working out for you? What questions can I answer? What are your numbers this month? That sort of thing. They weren't getting that, right? It just stopped. And then one month, somebody actually emailed me personally. And so I had to go look at the stuff, and I realized that none of it was happening. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And that was my business, you guys. So just be so careful. Learn from me, okay? And then the getting taken advantage of, which I've already talked about. It's almost hard to even blame them for taking advantage of you whenever you haven't given them any boundaries or put any fence around what they're to do and not do, it's almost hard to even blame them for taking advantage of you because you didn't tell them, right? So you kind of have to take a little bit of that on the chin and blame yourself. So I did a post not too long ago about ownership, right? Taking ownership for the things that we've done wrong. And whenever I hired those people and then consequentially had to fire them, I had to look at myself with that. I had to grow from it myself. I had to, instead of saying, well, I was doing them a favor and da-da-da-da-da, why'd they do this to me? You have to look at yourself, right? Why did they feel like they could do it to you? Why did you leave them in a position where that was even a thing, right? And I'm not saying that they didn't do anything wrong, but in every situation, we have to also look at it like, where did I goof, right? Because wherever you goofed, that's your learning opportunity. And then you just don't goof like that again in the future, right? Okay, now let's talk about the good ways that have worked for me, okay? Let me get this up here. Okay. So whenever I've had friends and family work for me and it's been a good situation, let's talk about that. And that's why I wanted to end with that. I always like to end with good stuff. So, because right now, my whole team is almost my whole team is friends and family. I vowed never again to hire friends and family after that debacle years ago. I was like, I obviously am a terrible employer. I obviously don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to find the right people and stuff like that. So I beat myself up for years over it. But then what I realized was it wasn't necessarily I was a bad hiring person or a bad boss or anything. It was that I didn't set up the boundaries. It's that I wasn't, that there was no oversight and basically there were too many cooks in the kitchen and it was what it was. So now we have a dream team. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. So, and like I said, a majority of them are friends and family. So what I've done good is now we have structure. And the structure is also really good. Not only to give people their responsibilities, they know exactly what they're supposed to do. They know what they're not supposed to do. So it's not just giving somebody action items. It's also telling them what their job isn't. So your job isn't to do this. Your job isn't to do that. You know, this is what you do. And I have it broken down into on a piece of paper, this. That's what you do, right? And then there's no question. It's just do that. And then if they don't do that, then it's a very clear like, okay, well, you're not doing the thing on the paper, so why is that? And then you can have a good conversation. Whereas if it's smoky and ambiguous, you can't really have that conversation of, well, why are you doing this thing? They'll probably just come back and say, well, why would I not? Right? And then if it were on paper, you could say, well, it's not in the details of what we're supposed to do, right? Get things on paper. Or on a document. Doesn't need to be paper. You don't need to kill a tree. Also, like I said, everyone doesn't report to me. I have one person that reports to me. One person reports to me. And I trust that person with everything. Okay? And then everybody reports to her. And then she reports to me. Okay? So I don't have everybody coming into my my email or my inbox or, you know, it's very hard to work if everybody's going to be messaging you all day about what do I do about this, what do I do about that. Instead, I have one person who knows most of the answers to those what do I do if, and then that person reports to me. And then if there's a question that's coming up, then I answer it, we create documentation around it and things like that. That creates a system that's duplicatable, okay? And it's good for friends and family not to directly report to you. It's good because then you're salvaging that part of a relationship, right? Where they don't feel like they have to to come to you to ask questions or whatever. They're going to somebody else, which essentially is a boss in any other situation or a manager in any other situation. Setting expectations, you guys. Setting expectations is another thing that has been great for doing it well. And that's the expectation of, okay, this is what we do. If anybody sees that that's not happening, we're going to have a conversation. Okay? If we have 2 conversations, that may be it. 3 conversations is definitely, we're going to separate ways, right? We're not going to, you will do something else and we will no longer work together if it takes 3 conversations of you just blatantly not doing something, right? Don't be afraid to say when it's not a good fit, you guys, okay? And I'm almost done with this. And I know this is a little bit more like it's a little more dry of a subject, but it's very, very important, okay? You need to know when to say that it's not a good fit. So whenever you have friends and family working for you, it's hard because you know that you're helping them and they're helping you. It's hard to say, like, this isn't working out, right? But that's why whenever you have your documentation of what they're supposed to be doing and then they're not doing it, it makes it a lot easier. But it's difficult to say to somebody, this just isn't a good fit. This just isn't working out, right? But you have to know that your personal brand and what you're coming to the table with and your way that you are showing up to serve depends on it, okay? Because if you keep people in your organization that are not good fits, what that does to the rest of your organization is it shows them that that's okay to not do things exactly right, and you're still going to keep your job, you're still going to get paid, and nothing's going to happen. What does that do to an entire team? That makes them eventually, they will at very least get disgruntled. They may also stop caring as well. It's a cancer, you guys. They may stop caring as well, or they may quit, or worse yet, they may quit but not quit. They may actually quit wanting to help you and quit doing their job well, but not actually quit their job. So they're still in your organization, but they're not really doing anything. That's the worst you could possibly have. Okay? Because they're not going to serve your people. They're not serving you. They're not serving the brand. They're not serving the collective of what you're trying to do. And in fact, what it does is it essentially gives an entire flat tire to the rest of your organization. So now it's harder to move forward and actually grow because you've got these people on your team that don't really give a rip and are sticking around for the paycheck, but not for the purpose, right? We want people that want profit, they want purpose, and they want to impact the world around them, okay? That's what we want and what we need in our businesses, okay? Last thing, be open and transparent, and do not feel bad about stepping on people's toes, okay? If you are stepping on people's toes, if you feel like you're stepping on people's toes, then their toes are too far into your yard. If we're talking about fencing things off, if you feel like you're stepping on someone's toes, they're too far into your space. Does that make sense? Because they shouldn't be so close you feel like you're stepping on their toes. You should have creative rule and creative rights to everything. It's your brand. It's your business. It's your stuff. If you feel like tiptoeing around or stepping on people's toes, they're too close, okay? So that's where that structure needs to happen. They need to be a level down. There needs to be somebody else that is handling your the other people that you have hired, right? Because those people are too close if you feel like you're stepping on their toes, all right? Somebody else should be a buffer between you and them, all right? Okay, so those are my thoughts on hiring friends and family. So I think it's excellent to do it because Friends and family have been the best teams that I have ever had, and they have also been my worst nightmare. But they were only my worst nightmare, in my opinion, because of me, because it was my fault, okay? Because I didn't give them good boundaries. I didn't give them good direction. That was on me, and that created a bad situation, okay? So again, ownership. In all things, you own everything, all right? But now the team that I have, best team I've ever had, ever in life. And it's almost completely full of friends and family, okay? All right, what questions do you guys have? Hello, Michelle. Angie, good morning. Good morning to you. Getting all these good mornings. Megan, it's only been a couple of days, but I missed you. Oh, thank you. We went back to Illinois. We had a family funeral down there. And thank you. I appreciate it. Hello there, Lori. Hello. Missy, good morning. Nicole. Hi, Martha. I'm finally making a live showing. Boom. Jen, that's where I am. I hear you. Laura, can't wait. Monday can't come soon enough. Boom. Yes. Signature program, you guys, starts on Monday. Get in if you want in. I have 2 guarantees. If you didn't know about it, I have 2 guarantees. One guarantee is you're going to make $10,000 a month within the first 6 months, or I work with you until you do. Second guarantee is if you beat my record of making $100,000 a month within 6 months, that was my record, hit it within 6 months, then I'm just going to refund the entire program to you. So there's that. I want you to win. Jenna, so ready. Boom. Lori, woohoo. So ready. It's my son's birthday. Good vibes on that day. Oh, awesome. Jillian, did you say 30K to 40K per month? I did. Yeah. We are, well, I hate to say my own goals because I don't want to freak people out. So I'm not going to. We're well over 30 to 40, just so you know. Robin, I am so excited to learn more about these foundational truths for what we are about to jump into. Absolutely. And I want you guys to understand fully what it looks like as you come into it, so you don't have to learn like I did. That's what the entire signature program is about. It took me 10 years of trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and winning and figuring it out, this stuff that nobody tells you, right? That's what the signature program is all about, is me showing you what the truth is. And it's not, I mean, you can do network marketing if you want to, but it's not about network marketing per se. It's about multiple income streams and how to weave them all together, how to market your business, how to be able to serve your people in a transparent and an authentic way that you feel amazing, and you get to bring home a bunch of money as well, which then what do? You turn around and you can support the community with it. You can do whatever you want to. You can invest some of it. You can support the community. We just paid a year of somebody's mortgage last week, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that you're able to do whenever you start making money like that, right? So I have no qualms at all in saying that the good people of the world are the people that need to have the money, because we will do the good stuff with it. We will take care of each other. Period, right? We can't count on anybody else to do that. We have to do it for each other. Sarah, I've been waiting forever to get started. I almost can't believe we get started in a few days. It's good. It's going to be good. Patsy, good morning. Genius coffee yet? This is, yes. I've already done it. Oh, man. Oh, pray that you have an awesome day. Thank you. Sarah, that was the one that I just saw. Cool. Well, you guys, I am going to go ahead and pop out of here. I have to get going with the rest of my day. You guys have the best day ever, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.